Oh yeah, is it? What's today? Saturday. Is it Saturday already? Have we made it through yet another week of Star Wars news? Okay, chat. It finally happened. We were concerned on whether or not the Rey movie would make that December 2026 release date, or if the Dawn of the Jedi movie would be moved up to that December of 2026 release date. But I got news for you. That December 2026 release date is gone forever. So there will not be two Star Wars movies in 2026. No, there will only be one, and that one will be the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. As the December 18th, I believe, December 18th, 2026 release date is now gone forever. No Star Wars movie in December of 2026. Nope. Bye-bye. It's gone. So whether or not that will be pushed back to maybe May of 2027 or all the way back to December of 2027, we don't know. But it is gone. That release date is now vanquished, obliterated, gone off the face of the earth. It is gone forever. So the Rey movie coming in 2026 will never happen. The Dawn of the Jedi movie coming in 2026 never happen. But in good news, we have 17 days. Yes, you heard that correctly. 17 days until Skeleton Crew, which is the next Star Wars show. So the hype is getting really, really high, as now we are getting interviews with the cast and a new trailer. Not only that, we have an exclusive article from Thursday's stream about Andor Season 2, and some more information has come out about Andor Season 2, whether or not we will be seeing Tarkin, all that fun stuff. So we got a lot to get into in not a lot of time. So without further ado, let's say hi to everybody in the chat, shall we? What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Saturday afternoon? What's up, chat? All right, let's say hi to everybody. Ian, what is up? Chris, how we doing? Fearless in the house. Agnes, what is up? Mando United, how we doing? Chris, what is up? Skywalker Academy in the house. Mike, what's up? Starship 66, how we doing? Fearless, what's up? Haja, how we doing? Nathan, what is up? Navarro, how we doing? Oscar, hello there. All right, if I missed you, you know the deal. Let's just give a nice little...
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Okay, so it's like a good news, bad news type situation going on here. Yes, that December 2026 release date is gone, but is that the worst thing? Now we're going to talk about where the Rey movie is at, whether the Rey movie still even exists today, and if it's being turned into a trilogy with Simon Kinberg writing it. However, none of that will be seen in December of 2026. No Star Wars movie will be coming out at that date. Now, is this bad news? Is this good news? We can debate about it, but to me, and this is going to be the thing I'm going to emphasize the most on today's live stream, as a Star Wars fan, I don't care when I get the project. Could be now. Could be a week from now. Could be 10 million years. Okay, maybe not 10 million years, but I don't care when I get the Star Wars project. Delay it all you want. Just make it good. That's all that matters. If the project is good and people want to see it and people go to watch it and it's really, really good and it's great for Star Wars, that's all that matters. So, for the Rey movie, for the Dawn of the Jedi movie, for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, for all the Star Wars projects, Andor Season 2, Ahsoka Season 2, Skeleton freaking Crew, that comes out in 17 days, if it were to be delayed, I don't give a damn as long as it's good. That's why when all these projects during the Pandy time, the co-of-vid, when that was happening and all these projects were being delayed, like the Mandalorian Season 3 or Ahsoka or whatever it may be, when those projects were being delayed, the biggest one being the Skywalker Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, it doesn't matter as long as the project is good. If you're delaying it for the right reasons, that's the key. So it all depends on what this Rey movie looks like, what the Dawn of the Jedi movie looks like. If it's fan-frickin-tastic, then nobody's going to care that it was delayed an extra year or an extra 6 months or whatever it's going to be. So that's all that matters. But let's dive into this news, shall we? Because we got some Skeleton Crew, we got some Andor Season 2, we got some movie news, and we got not a lot of time to get to it. So without further ado, let's put up a poll in the chat, shall we? If you guys have not smashed a freaking like on this video, you should do that immediately. But let's put up this poll, okay? Let's put up a poll. Are you excited for Skeleton Crew? We have 17 days, chat. 17 days until this show airs. So I ask you for the 1,000th time on this channel, are you excited for Skeleton Crew? Let's see where people are at. Let's see how people are feeling on this nice Saturday afternoon. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, let's start with the Rey movie news, okay? Because this seems to be the big news that came out yesterday. So let's talk about this. First broke by, I think, The Hollywood Reporter. So I think we'll read them first. We'll figure it out. But here's the deal. Hang on. Sorry, chat. Not only has this Rey movie or Star Wars untitled film been delayed, been deleted, taken off the calendar, whatever you want to call it, it has been replaced. Not by another Star Wars movie, not by even a Marvel movie, but by the Ice Age 6. The Ice Age 6. Now, I got some questions. I got a few questions. One, when the hell did they make the Ice Age 3, 4, and 5? Or 2, 3, 4, and 5? And two, why are they making an Ice Age 6? Okay, enough of that. Let's keep going. Let's not focus on the Ice Age 6 today. Okay, so Disney takes Star Wars off its 2026 calendar. Now, that's not true, because the Mandalorian Grogu movie still comes out in 2026. But let's read this. Disney has removed a planned untitled Star Wars film. Let's not get this twisted, chat. The Rey movie was never confirmed to be coming out on December 18th, 2026. Neither was Dawn of the Jedi. This is not... It was never confirmed. So we're just implying that it's being delayed because there was a movie there, and we assumed that it was going to be the Rey movie. Keep that in mind. But it has been removed from the 2026 release calendar, while the latest installment of the popular animated franchise will take its slot. Ice Age 6. Yeah. Ice Age 6 is now slated to hit theaters on December 18th, 2026. Details of the Star Wars film that was initially set for that date have not been disclosed, so they did not tell us which Star Wars movie would have released on that date, obviously. Disney announced last week that Simon Kinberg has been brought on to write and produce a Star Wars trilogy. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy will also produce on the trilogy. The source is telling The Hollywood Reporter at the time that the films would involve new characters and would not be a continuation of the previous Skywalker saga that spanned episode 1 to episode 9 of the sci-fi film franchise. So, a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes here. The Rey movie, a few weeks ago, lost its writer in Stephen Knight. He's a busy dude. He's doing the Peaky Blinders movie and all that stuff. They lost the writer for the Rey movie. This is the second time that has happened. Now, that's a big deal because when you lose your writer, you have to get a new one, obviously, and that sort of stalls the process. However, I think this Simon Kinberg deal for him to come on for a trilogy happened months ago, just as I think Stephen Knight left the Rey movie months ago. So, yes, it's going to delay the project a little bit, but you're going to now allow Simon Kinberg to write an entire trilogy rather than just getting a one-off, spin-off Rey movie, which to me sounds a whole lot better. Think of it this way. Would you rather see a Rey movie where it's just one movie, one story? Who knows who the hell the bad guy would be? Would Finn be in it? Maybe. Would Ben Solo be connected somehow? Maybe. But it would just be one movie. Or would you rather a cohesive, well thought out trilogy that takes us away from the Skywalker saga, puts us into the future of the Star Wars universe, and leads us off on this nice paved road of a cohesive trilogy written by one guy or a group of people, Simon Kinberg and co. It seems like a no-brainer to me. I really hope that that's what's going on here. The Rey movie's being reworked into this new trilogy where Rey is going to be this Obi-Wan Kenobi-esque mentor character with her new Jedi Order, with a brand new cast of characters that will be focused on. So Rey will be a main character, but not the main character. And that will be the trilogy that goes on from there. But that's what the rumor has been since Simon Kinberg has hopped on board to do an entire trilogy, writing and producing an entire Star Wars trilogy. Okay. And it will not be a continuation of the previous Skywalker saga, as Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, was the end of that saga. But let's keep reading. Daisy Ridley's character, Rey Skywalker, is the focus of a different Star Wars movie that is actively in the works from director Sharmina Bencinoy. Right now, this article is talking about these two projects as completely separate things. I still don't think that's the case. I think this Simon Kinberg trilogy and this Rey movie are the exact same freaking thing. But for some reason, they remain to be two separate entities. Now, here's the deal. It doesn't say Simon Kinberg's writing, producing, and directing this entire trilogy. No, he's just writing and producing. So Sharmeen can get the first movie, while two other directors could get the second and the third movie. It's not something that's completely out of the realm of possibility. Look at the original trilogy. George Lucas directs the first movie. He doesn't direct the next two. The sequel trilogy is a bad example because it's sort of not as cohesive of a story. But with Simon being writing on all the movies, then you're going to have a cohesive story, even with different directors for each movie. This project was first mentioned at Star Wars Celebration in London of April 2023. But earlier this year, the studio announced that director Jon Favreau and his Pedro Pascal's led feature film, The Mandalorian Grogu, will hit theaters May 22nd, 2026. Now, I can't emphasize this enough. This has not changed. This has not changed at all. This Mando and Grogu movie will come out on May 22nd, 2026. The delay of this December 2026 movie does not affect The Mandalorian and Grogu at all. At all. Zip. Nada. So, for those of you who are concerned about the Mandalorian and Grogu movie getting delayed or getting canceled or whatever, it's good. It's perfectly fine. It's actually wrapping up filming probably as we speak, or at least within the next couple weeks. And it's on track. It's doing great. It's fan-freaking-tastic. Okay? Okay. You pal Joe, what's up? Steve, how we doing? All right. Disney review. Oh, sorry. The film is a spin-off of the hit Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian, which released its third season last year. Disney revealed at D23 Brazil last week that Ice Age 6 is in production, with Ray Romano, Queen Latifah, and John reprising their voice roles. The animated property was acquired as a part of Disney's purchase of 21st Century Fox. That's what I was so confused. I was like, is Ice Age actually a Disney property? But they got it from 20th Century Fox. And the new movie will mark the series' first theatrical release since the deal closed in 2019. Ice Age Collision Course, the fifth installment of the franchise, hit theaters back in 2016 and surpassed $400 million globally. Wow. Okay, so it's been 8 years in between movies. And it will be actually 10 years in between movies because it doesn't come out till 2026. Huh. The more you know. Has anybody actually watched all 5 Ice Age movies? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, so that's the deal. This Rey movie, or at least untitled Star Wars film, has been bumped from its spot. Now, there's a little bit more to this, okay? It's not just that the Star Wars movie is being delayed. Sorry. Oop. Here's the big deal. There is a massive other franchise that Rey movie, or whatever untitled Star Wars movie would have been competing with. Anybody in the chat know what I'm talking about? In December of 2026, there is another massive franchise that is actually having its third installment coming off the backs of its second installment, which was a huge success that came out this year. Chat, anybody? So this untitled Star Wars movie would have been competing on the exact same day, December 18th, 2026, with this third installment of a movie. Do we know what it is, chat? Avatar. Actually, no. Maybe. Hang on. When does Avatar 3 come out? Avatar 3 release date. Maybe you're right, but that's not the one I was thinking of. No, Avatar's next year, 2025. Yeah, Avatar 3's release date is 2025, next year. No. So that is not a problem. No, it is not. Spider-Man, no. Rise of the Blue Meanies? No. You would love for me to make a Star Wars trilogy? I don't think I have any qualifications to do that. No. And honestly, I don't have faith in myself to create a good enough story. That's why I'm sitting here doing this and not trying to become a writer for a Star Wars movie. I don't think I'd be able to do. Yes, okay. The multiverse got it. Dune. Dune 3. Now, give me one into the chat if you've seen the Dune movies. Dune 1 came out years ago now, but Dune 2 came out this year. One of the biggest movies of this year, featuring Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya. A very good movie, if I do say so myself. Dune 2 was really, really good. So Dune 3 has a lot of hype and anticipation behind it. It will be a massive blockbuster movie. And Dune and Star Wars are very similar, parallel in many different ways. Dune being a book that was written long before Star Wars was created. George Lucas has actually admitted that he's taken a lot of ideas from Dune and plugged them into Star Wars. They're very similar stories. But to have those two compete on the same day on December 18th, 2026 was probably not a good idea for either movie at all. People would expect it to be like a Barbenheimer part 2, but it wouldn't. It would be one movie succeeding and the other one failing, and who knows which one would win. It depends on which movie was better, I guess. But it would probably not be the best bet for Star Wars to release a Rey movie, which they're already pretty hesitant about, on the same day that Dune 3 releases. It does not seem like the best idea. So Dune 3 is coming out on December 18th, 2026, and it almost seems like Star Wars is running away from that. And I'm not that mad about it. Like, yes, we've seen Star Wars run before. Andor Season 1 is the perfect example. Andor Season 1 was supposed to come out in August. It didn't come out until September because it was running from Rings of Power Season 1 and something else. Fudge. What was that second show it was running from? I don't remember. But in the long run, I think that actually helped Andor. Because if it came out with those other two shows, it would have been like Andor who? And yes, there's a whole other conversation about the marketing with Andor and all that stuff. But Andor ran from that show, and I think it was the right decision. I can't think of the second show. It was Rings of Power Season 1 and The Boys? No, it wasn't The Boys. Something else, whatever. So I actually don't think this is a bad move. To move away from Dune 3 and allow yourself more time to create a cohesive trilogy with Rey's character being a sort of mentor figure to, like, there's so much riding on this so-called trilogy. It's not just the next installment of Star Wars. It's starting a new saga in Star Wars. You don't understand how difficult that is to do. This is not relying on nostalgia, not relying on Skywalkers, not relying on Vader, Luke, anybody. This is starting off a new saga, a new story, new characters. That's very, very difficult to do in Star Wars, as we've seen with the most recent example, The Acolyte. It's a very, very hard thing to accomplish, to get all those normie fans and hardcore fans alike to grasp on to these new characters. Usually it's easier when you have older characters along with them. For example, The Mandalorian. I mean, The Mandalorian has characters that people know and love, like Boba Fett, like Luke, like Bo-Katan, like Ahsoka, that are helping sort of usher in these new characters, like Greef Karga, Din Djarin, Grogu, etc. So, to have a completely new time period in the Star Wars timeline, completely new characters, completely new saga, is very, very hard to do, and they need to take their time to do it correctly. Absolutely. And to run away or look like you're running away from Dune 3 is not the worst idea in the world. Yeah. The sound effect in Dune's movies alone beats the Rey movie. That's the thing. I'm excited for the Rey movie or Rey possible trilogy. I think there's a lot of hope in the future of the Star Wars franchise, not just going back to the Old Republic, which I can't wait for, the Dawn of the Jedi, all that stuff. The future of the Star Wars timeline is probably more important than going back in the timeline. So to set off that trilogy correctly is a big deal. They got to do it right. Yeah. Dune has so much general hype for it. It would destroy a Rey movie. Exactly. It's the third installment of a franchise that's doing extremely well right now. This would be the continuation of the sequel trilogy in a lot of fans' minds. With the character of Rey being attached, they just instinctively say, okay, this is just an extension of the sequel trilogy. And people have very strong opinions about the sequel trilogy. So, yeah, it's not the best idea to go up against head-to-head Dune, which is red hot right now. Yeah. Absolutely not. Star Wars Order, what's up? Says, hey, Mike. I know this is a Star Wars channel, but did you see Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2? If so, did you enjoy it? I'm going to be completely honest with you. I loved Cobra Kai. I still do. I have not watched Season 5 or 6, so I am quite behind on Cobra Kai. So I could not tell you if it's good or not. I could not tell you if I liked it or not, but I'm sure it's pretty good. I mean, those first 4 seasons were really good. Yeah. Ian says, I'm not a Timothy Chalamet Ding Dong fan. Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, he's a great actor. And in Dune 2, he's really good. Dune 2, if you haven't seen it yet, I would say go watch it. It's pretty good. Pretty dang good. You should do a Star Wars animated movie where you're doing all the voices. Oh, that would be incredible. Can we do that? Lucasfilm, if you're watching, and we know that you are, can we write me like just a small, maybe 30-minute, maybe an hour Star Wars animated movie where I get to voice all the characters? I don't care what it's about. I don't care who's in it. Give me maybe some Yoda, some Chewbacca. Make it a story about Yoda and Chewbacca. And how Yoda became so close with the Wookiees. Give me that as a movie. Allow me to voice all the characters. It would be instant. $2 billion, easy. Release it into the theaters. Everybody would go watch it. Let's not, everybody would go watch it. Oh, that'd be so good. I mean, come on. The Mike Baca holiday special? Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, give me the holiday special. There you go. Dune 13? No, it's Dune 3. Has anybody seen the original Dune? Okay, hang on. I know this is completely off the topic of Star Wars, but did anybody watch the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight last night? Boxing fight last night? Give me a 1 into the chat if you watched that. Anybody? Talk about the biggest waste of my time. Oh my God, that won't be another fucking 3 hours I'll ever get back. It was terrible. They made millions upon millions of dollars to sit there and do nothing for hours. Oh, it was horrible. Never get that time back. Never get that time back. It was so bad. So bad. And I'm fully convinced that either one of them could knock each other out at any moment. I've seen all the training videos. Mike Tyson, even at 60, 58, is still a freaking beast. Jake Paul is 27 in the prime of his life. He could clearly throw some punches. They just sat there and fake jabbed at each other for 30 minutes. And we all sat there and watched it. We all sat there and watched as nothing happened for hours. And that's all I got to say about that. Okay, back to Star Wars. It was so ridiculous. You watch like the intro videos when they walk out, you see them training, and Mike Tyson's just like, whoa, 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 whoa. He never did that. He never threw a freaking punch. And even Jake Paul, who I've seen fight before, wasn't even trying. It was like they got paid to just go in circles. Just circle each other. Whenever one of you lunges at each other, the other one just back up. That's it. Mike Tyson, bite your thumb. There you go. Jake Paul, bow at the end. Fantastic. Entertainment. God, I try to host a show 3 times a week where I try to stay entertaining. I think I'm way more entertaining than those 2 idiots running around in circles making millions of dollars. God damn it. Okay. Sorry. A guy who loves boxing? More like a guy who freaking can't stand it. Holy shnikes. Okay. Let's get back to Star Wars before I lose my freaking mind. Okay. Let's read this article, shall we? This is coming from Variety. It's about the same news, the Star Wars movie being replaced, but let's talk about it a little bit more. This goes into a little bit more depth of what's going on with the Rey movie, which we got to get into here, okay? Let's try and stay calm today, chat. It's a Saturday, for God's sakes. It's the weekend. Let's stay calm. Okay. Disney has removed an untitled Star Wars film.
This is where the fun begins.
Okay. Has removed an untitled Star Wars film previously scheduled for December 18th, 2026 from its release calendar. The Ice Age 6 will be taking its spot. I don't know why the Ice Age 6 to me just sounds so wrong. Is there really 5 other Ice Age movies? Okay. When it was never confirmed exactly which project would be on that December 2026 release date, Charmaine Chinoy was previously announced as the director of the upcoming Star Wars film following Daisy Ridley's Rey after the events of The Rise of Skywalker. The film lost its writer, Stephen Knight, earlier this year after Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson previously departed the project, probably 2 years ago now. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy said at last year's Star Wars Celebration that Daisy Ridley's new film would follow Rey as she builds a new Jedi Order. What the hell was that? It wouldn't be the first time a potential entry in the beloved space opera franchise ended before it began. New installments from director Patty Jenkins, Marvel producer Kevin Feige, The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson, and Game of Thrones creator David and Dan and Dave, I think their names are, have been announced over the years but never came to fruition. The next Star Wars movie, The Mandalorian Grogu, from director Jon Favreau, is scheduled to premiere on May 22nd, 2026. Another untitled Star Wars film remains slated for December 17th of 2027, about a year and a half after The Mandalorian Grogu. Let's take a look at this for a second. Yes, we've seen Star Wars movies in the past get canceled or never come to fruition, as they say here, but I don't think that's what's going on here with the Rey movie. Yes, this date has been delayed or has been deleted off the face of the earth, but there could be a new date just 6 months later or a year later, which is already set, December 17th, 2027, that could just be the new home for the Rey movie. Like, this Rey movie, I do not think in any sort of way is canceled or deleted or gone. It's still going to happen. Maybe it's just the beginning of a trilogy. Maybe it's been reworked, but it's not gone. It's not deleted. It's not canceled like some of these other movies like Kevin Feige's or Rian Johnson's trilogy or the Game of Thrones guys. Now, Patty Jenkins on this list is not really a good one because we just got another update the other day that this is still in the works. Rogue Squadrons is still in the works. And the only reason we aren't getting this Rogue Squadron movie, because it's probably done by now, or at least writing-wise, it's probably done by now. The only reason we're not getting it is because they need a win in the movie theater before they announce something like this. Before we get a Rogue Squadron movie, which nobody knows what the hell that could be even about, they need a win in the movie theaters, which hopefully will be the Mandalorian Grogu movie, but we'll see. Elsewhere in the galaxy, far, far away, Lucasfilm revealed last week that X-Men alum Simon Kinberg would write and produce a new trilogy with Kathleen Kennedy. Last week, Disney and 20th Century Animation announced that Ice Age was in production, with all those people coming back for the movie. So this, although they're trying to lead you to believe, is not coming to fruition. The Rey movie is still in the works. It's still most likely going to happen. Yeah. Isn't the Johnson trilogy technically still on the table? I mean, in theory, yes. It wasn't ever canceled, but it wasn't ever really a thing either. If you were to ask Kathleen Kennedy or even Rian Johnson, I'm sure their answers would be pretty cryptic. They'd just be like, yeah, once they're not busy anymore, like once I get the chance to, like Rian Johnson's been doing those murder movies. What are they called? One was called like Glass Onion or something. What are those movies called on Netflix? Chat, somebody. Rian Johnson's been working on those movies. He's been a pretty busy guy, but a lot of Star Wars fans have been so hurt by The Last Jedi that bringing him on for an entire trilogy is probably not the best bet. Now, here's the deal. Rian Johnson's an incredible filmmaker. When you look at his other movies, like those, what are they called? I can't even think of them, but one of them's called Knives Out. Thank you. Oh my God. Knives Out. Yes. When you look at those Knives Out movies, they're incredible. Some of the previous early works that he's done is really, really good too. But when it came to Star Wars, he didn't really want to do the next installment of the trilogy. He wanted to do his own story. And I think if he gets his own story, it's not going to be the end of the world. And it actually could be really, really good. It's just how he dealt with the characters, legacy characters of Luke Skywalker specifically, is what fans didn't like. So, I don't know. It goes back and forth with Rian Johnson. But, yeah. Knives Out. That's what it was. I couldn't think of Knives Out for some reason. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't think of it. So that's the deal. This December 18th, 2026 Star Wars movie has been delayed. Now, we don't know to when or if it will even ever pop up anywhere else. And we don't know what movie it was going to be. We all assume that it was the Rey movie, but it could have been anything else, I guess. There you go. The Multiverse is Broken says, I love The Last Jedi and I will die on that hill. There's a lot of people that do. Absolutely. There's a lot of Star Wars fans that love The Last Jedi, and that's perfectly fine. That's the best part about Star Wars and being a Star Wars fan, is that there's so much Star Wars content out there that is very different from the last. Like, you look at a show like The Mandalorian versus Ahsoka versus Andor. They're so varying and different that some fans really, really love Ahsoka, like myself. Some fans really, really like The Mandalorian and say it's the best show. Some people say Andor's the best show. They're all very different feeling. It's the same with The Last Jedi. I think Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars movie. Some people think it's Empire Strikes Back. Some people would argue it's The Last Jedi. Here's the deal. Everybody has their own opinion, and that's why we're the people who love Star Wars, not the people who love specific and hate on other things Star Wars or hate on other people Star Wars. Dead Mike, what's up? Okay. By the way, tell me what your favorite Star Wars movie is in the chat. Immediately. Empire Strikes Back, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. I like The Last Jedi a million times better than The Rise of Skywalker. I don't know. Maybe. The Force Awakens. I like The Force Awakens quite a bit. Rogue One, sir. That's a good one. Rogue One's great. Rogue One's in my top 3. I don't know about top number 1. Solo? Explore the Force. How we doing? Solo's number 1 for you? That's pretty good. That's pretty dang good. I saw an article that said that Rey is currently the most valuable cinematic asset for Star Wars. I don't believe that. The sequel trilogy is too controversial. Yeah. I mean, Brett, you're absolutely right. You hit the nail on the head right there. The sequel trilogy is too controversial in the Star Wars fandom. Yes, some fans love it. Some fans don't. In this community, that's perfectly fine, and we can have a civilized conversation. But that's not always the case online when it comes to Star Wars fans. People get very, very heated when it comes to talking sequel trilogy. So to say that Rey is your best, most valuable cinematic asset is just wrong. First of all, it's got to be Din and Grogu, which you're making a movie off of, and clearly they know that. Lucasfilm is not dumb. They know that. They know Din Djarin and Grogu are their biggest assets. Whoever wrote that article clearly is misinformed, because if Rey was the most valuable asset, that is, they would make her movie first. The reason The Mandalorian and Grogu is coming out first is because they know it's going to be a success. They know that that is their most valuable asset. The numbers don't lie. The Mandalorian's the biggest show on Disney Plus for Star Wars. It's not even close. So to say that that's supposedly true, that Rey is their most valuable asset, is so unbelievably wrong. Yeah. And I don't think I don't think that's real either. I mean, that's just somebody saying, source tells us that they believe that Rey's their most valuable asset. I think the only reason that article says that even too is because they're focusing so hard on Rey. They're making her own trilogy. They're making her own movie, all that stuff. I don't think so. Joe brings up a great point. He says they could have done better with the name, in my opinion. The Mandalorian Grogu just seems lazy. Where do we stand with The Mandalorian and Grogu as a title? This movie was announced this year in February or something. And when it was announced with this Mandalorian and Grogu title. Do we hate the title, chat? Or has it grown on us? Or do we think it's still like, what's going on or what? The Mandalorian and Grogu, it gets to the point. It's a movie about Mandalorians, or the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, and Grogu. What do we think? Hate it? Lame title? Terrible name? Oh my God. I don't care. I love the title. Honestly, when it was first announced, I was like, okay, is this a working title? Is this going to change? But, I mean, it's grown on me. I've said the words The Mandalorian and Grogu a trillion times over the last 8 months, so I'm used to it by now. But I want to know where you guys are at. Like, what do you guys think? As somebody who doesn't say The Mandalorian and Grogu on a daily basis 10 times a day, what do we think? Your pal Joe says, anyone who hasn't seen The Mandalorian has no idea what it is. I actually think it's quite the opposite. Well, yes, that is true, but I think they did this for the opposite reason. Everybody seems to know who Grogu is. I mean, look down. He's on your shirt right now. I know he's not on my shirt today, okay? I realized when I was saying that sentence that he's not on my shirt. But he's on your shirt, okay? He's on your shirt. He's somewhere in the room. He's right here. So Grogu's everywhere. He's their biggest seller by far. Every piece of merchandise, everything is Grogu related. So they're going out on a limb and saying most people, most Star Wars fans know who Grogu is, or at least they know him by Baby Yoda. But they know what he looks like. So, and The Mandalorian is their biggest Disney Plus show. So it makes sense for them to go Din, Grogu, The Mandalorian's our biggest show. Let's just go The Mandalorian and our biggest piece of merchandise, Grogu. The Mandalorian and Grogu. So it makes sense from a business perspective to name the movie this. But as fans, it seems like almost lazy, for lack of a better word. But here's the deal. What's a better title for this movie? It's an interesting predicament they have themselves in. Mandalorian and Grogu could be the beginning of a trilogy. It's at least the beginning of a duology because we know Dave Filoni's getting his own movie. What would you name this movie? It can't be episode 6.5, the new chicken. It can't be, oh no, Grogu ate a chicken. Chicken. I'm hungry, I guess. No, it can't be something along the lines of A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Return of the Mandalorian, Return of the Grogu, Return of the Yoda species. It can't be like The Force Awakens. It can't be something along the lines of The Phantom Menace. It can't do that because we're in the middle of the Skywalker saga. And that saga is already episode 1 to 9. We can't just be renaming episodes of Star Wars at this point. We're too deep in. So if they're going to do a Mandalorian trilogy, the titles of those movies have to stand apart from all the others. There is no other option. That's why they're calling it that. Hey, what do we think? Finding the Way, Tales from the Mandalorian. I'm not a fan of Tales from the Mandalorian. I don't like the Star Wars story. The fact that they re-added that to Andor, I don't get it. I don't know why that is the case, but like Rogue One is Rogue One to me. It's never going to be Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Solo, I'm always going to call Solo, not Solo, a Star Wars story. Yeah. The Mandalorian and Grogu, and then whatever the adventure is. But again, that's such a long title. The Mando and Grogu show? Horrible. It's impossible to say what the title could be without context of what the movie is. That's true. Yeah, that is true. They should call it They Fly Now. I'd watch that. I'd watch that. There is probably only one other option. Because if this is going to be a trilogy, the only other option would be to title it the Trilogy of the Heir to the Empire. Which means the first movie would be titled Heir to the Empire. But that's not the way they're going. If it is a trilogy, I think the last one will be the Heir to the Empire, but we'll see. The Mandalorian, Warrior and Child, but that's the exact same thing as The Mandalorian and Grogu, just with more words and more cryptic. I agree with you that there's so many other things that they could call this movie, but none that would be more straight to the point and more easy to market. It's a movie about the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, their biggest character on Disney Plus, and Grogu, their biggest advertising dollars. You know? Lucasfilm should focus on the New Republic era, show Luke's academy, or Jedi Academy, and his other accomplishments, Dawn of the Jedi era, and hundreds of years before the sequel trilogy era. Well, that's kind of what they're doing. I mean, we're getting a Mando movie. We're getting 2 Mando movies, actually. Ahsoka Season 2, most likely a 3rd Mando movie, and who knows, maybe a Skeleton Crew Season 2, maybe an Ahsoka Season 3, maybe Book of Boba Fett Season 2. They are focusing on that New Republic era. We still think that there's going to be a animated movie, or animated show, I should say. The next animated show for Star Wars being announced at Star Wars Celebration next year. Whether or not that will be a Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple show remains to be seen. But yeah, they're focusing on this New Republic era quite a bit. I mean, we already have 3 seasons of The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, Skeleton Crew. Like, they're clearly focusing on this era. Yeah. Well, then that's what I would call it, Heir to the Empire. I think Heir to the Empire would be the best bet. I absolutely do. Call it the Ice Age 7.
I got a bad feeling about this.
If Lucasfilm has the ability here to do something really funny, and that is call the Mandalorian and Grogu movie the Ice Age 7. Oh, that's so funny. Darth Thor says, plus the comics have switched to the Mando era. That's true. The recent comic run is the Battle of Jakku, which is in this New Republic era. So yeah, everything seems to be focusing on this New Republic era. Here's the deal. The focus for the last maybe decade has been on the era in between the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy. That sort of 19-year gap. You got 3 seasons of The Bad Batch. You got Tales of the Jedi. You got Tales of the Empire. You got comics, Vader comics, Dr. Aphra comics. All the Star Wars comics were taking place in this time period, or at least in the original trilogy time period. You had Star Wars Rebels, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, Rogue One, Solo. All these projects taking place, filling in the gaps between the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy. Now, that has shifted. We're filling in the gap, the only gap remaining in the Star Wars timeline, which is in between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy. You got 3 seasons of The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, Skeleton Crew, Mando movies, comics now, the Aftermath trilogy. They're filling in this gap. Now, the big question comes up in probably 5 years. Where do we go after that? Once the entire Skywalker saga is filled in, all but that one weekend where Vader was having a party. Once the whole Star Wars saga, Skywalker saga, I should say, is filled in, where do you go now? That's why 2 specific projects are so important, and that is the Rey movie or Rey trilogy and the Dawn of the Jedi. One brings you to the future past the Skywalker saga, and one brings you back to the beginning of time, or at least 25,000 years before the Skywalker saga. I guess not really the beginning of time, but the beginning of the Jedi. So once you fill in the Skywalker saga, it's sort of a question of where do you go? Yeah. You know? Shamrock, great name, says, I want an Old Republic show. I do too, but I don't think you're going to be getting one for quite some time. Yeah. Like I just said, they're focusing right now on the New Republic era. Sometime within the next 5 years, we'll be getting a Dawn of the Jedi movie. But even then, it will still be years until we see the Old Republic come to fruition. Once we do go to the Old Republic, once the Skywalker saga is filled in, the Old Republic might be the new home for Star Wars. We might get a new saga or multiple sagas in the Old Republic era. The main focus of all Star Wars content may be that era, which would be really, really cool because it's a bunch of Sith versus a bunch of Jedi and a bunch of legacy characters that already exist that fans already love. It's an untapped gold mine, to say the least. But it might be the new home for Star Wars in a couple of years. Yeah. The Old Republic is wide open. I'm shocked that they haven't gone there yet. Well, that's the reason they haven't gone there yet. It's because it's such a big task. It's such a big thing to overcome, or at least to tap into, that you can't just do a one-off show or a one-off movie or a one-off animated series. It has to be something that's so thought out from start to finish. A story like the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy that's so thought out, because you can't do it wrong. And you can't just do one thing at a time. It can't just be a one movie and then wait a decade to make the next movie. It has to be a boom, 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 Old Republic all the time. Yeah. Video games, comics, movies, shows, animated, live action, all of it at the same time. It's got to be the Old Republic at all times. Yeah. Set up the Old Republic with the Dawn of the Jedi? Yeah. Yeah. Dawn of the Jedi has so much riding on it because it's going to be the beginning of all of that. Not just the first Jedi, which needs to be done correctly, but also setting up the Old Republic, going 25,000 years before anything, should have connections to Zepho, should have connections to the Rakata, should have connections to everything. Yeah, it's got a lot riding on it for sure. They should do a series like the Clone Wars for the Old Republic. I think there should be multiple series like that in the Old Republic, but not to start. You got to start with a movie. You got to start with the trilogy. And then after that, you can expand on live action, animation, all that stuff. But you got to start with the trilogy. Yeah, you got to start it off right. Absolutely. For sure. Indeed. Okay, now that we've gotten completely off topic, let's switch our gears over to this Skeleton Crew trailer, shall we? So this premiered yesterday. Yesterday. This premiered yesterday. It's a 24-ish second trailer, and there's not really too much new footage going on here, but it does give us a little bit of an insight into what the first episode of Skeleton Crew will look like. And that first episode does premiere in 17 days. So let's take a look at this. And while we watch this, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Skeleton Crew? Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. Okay, and hang on. Let me check this poll for a second. 84% of you are excited for Skeleton Crew. That's great. I'm hoping this number just keeps on climbing as we get closer and closer and closer to this show. But let's watch this trailer first. Oh, okay. Let's watch this trailer first.
Don't you ever want to do anything exciting? That was my shot! Whoa!
Okay. That's it. It's 20 seconds. But here's the deal. There's a lot actually going on here. Not only is he just eating cereal like our boy Cyril from Andor. Shout out to Andor Season 2. We'll talk about Andor Season 2 in a minute, okay? We'll get to it. But we're talking Skeleton Crew. So he's eating cereal like our boy Cyril. This is proving what the first episode is going to look like. The reason that these kids are going to leave their seemingly safe home world, and we've talked about it to an insane extent, how we don't trust this home world, how there's all the ships on the planet are tied to the ground. Clearly, there's something weird going on with their home planet. But this shows the reason that these kids are going to leave the show. leave the planet, not the show. That would be weird. I thought when I first watched this trailer, probably 3 times in a row, I thought that this trailer was just starting over. But no. This is proving to us that the first episode of this show is going to prove that time and time again, over and over, it's almost like Groundhog Day. We're going to be focusing on our boy Wim, who's eating cereal every morning, and Neil. They're going to school every day, doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and he's going to be sick and tired of it. He wants to go on an adventure, and that's what's going to lead him into the woods to find that ship that blasts him off into the galaxy. So this is not just buffering or repeating the same scene over and over again for dramatic effect. It's proving what this first episode is going to show us, that these kids are bored and want to go on an adventure, and that's how Wim goes and finds this ship. And yes, you noticed in this thumbnail for this video, I do have Neil raising his hand. The goat. The goat. You want to see the goat jump off of a moving bus? Just kidding, it's not moving. But you want to see him jump off a bus? The goat.
Don't you ever want to do anything exciting?
That was my shot! Whoa.
So once he says, don't you want to ever do something exciting, it switches over from just being the same thing over and over again to their action adventure in the galaxy.
Exciting?
You got to look at Jude Law there. Don't really know what he's up to.
That was my shot! Whoa.
And then you got Fern giving the nice smirk. She seems to be like the badass character of the group. But there's going to be clearly a lot of space battles, action, fight scenes, all up in this show.
That was my shot! Whoa.
As these kids are going to be being hunted down by pirates, and whoever else will be hunting them down as well. So it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. How are we feeling about that scene with the Onyx Cinder in the daylight? Does it look a little bit hooky? Hockey? What do you mean? This one? How do you mean?
Shot! Whoa.
Yeah, so that's sort of just the gist of the trailer. There's not really too much going on, but it does prove the point of this seemingly safe home world. These kids are just going to be bored looking for something to do. Yeah. Brett says, do you think that Honda will show up? Yes. When you got a show about pirates, you got all these connections to the Weequay, which is Hondo's species, in the trailers for the show. It seems like a no-brainer that Honda will be showing up in this. Actually, you also have his ship in the frickin' trailer. Do I think Honda will show up? I'm about 98% yes. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't look finished to you? I don't know. We've seen that scene before, like the full scene. I don't know. I don't know. All right, here's the deal. Over the last couple days, there's been some interviews with the cast of this show. The girl who plays the girl who plays KB, the kid who plays Wim, the girl who plays Fern. All these actors, young actors, these kid actors, are doing these interviews. And I've watched pretty much all of them. Not really much information about the show. They're really, really hesitant on explaining anything about the show because they don't want to spoil anything. Obviously, they're under contract, so they can't divulge any information. But I will say, for these 12, 13-year-old kids to be as insanely good at media, interviews, all this stuff as they are is incredible. Whoever is working over there at Lucasfilm, at Disney, as the sort of media person with these kids, they're doing an incredible job because these kids are on the ball when it comes to answering all these questions. Everything is great, fantastic. Working on Star Wars is the best. Working with Jude Law is fantastic. I'm such good friends with all these kids. It was such a cool time. Star Wars is the best. My dad was a giant Star Wars fan, all that stuff. It's amazing. When you look at it in comparison, sorry, in comparison, let me take a drink of water in suspense here. When you look at it in comparison to the show that happened earlier this year, The Acolyte, it's night and day. I'm a huge fan of The Acolyte, don't get me wrong. I absolutely loved the show. But the interviews, all those actors and directors' interviews before the show aired were like, stop! What are you doing? This show is so good. Why are you doing this? Just from all over the place, like saying just crazy stuff. And these kids are the exact opposite. They're saying all the right things. And it's fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely. If the other cup is a good cup, is that the bad cup? No. It's a Mandalorian. It's a Mandalorian and Grogu. Actually, I don't think Grogu's on this cup. No, he's not. No, he is not. The Acolyte was trash. That's your opinion. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, you pal Joe. Exactly. But that's the thing. This show is not that. This is completely different. Now, here's the deal. This show comes out in 17 days. We've gotten 2 trailers. That teaser, which doesn't really give us much at all, but it's more evidence to suggest we're going to be getting a lot more of these. Just a 24-second little teaser trailer towards Skeleton Crew. It's going to just happen time and time again. We've seen it over and over again with every show that's happened before. From The Acolyte to Ahsoka to The Mandalorian, right in this sort of 2-3 weeks before, it just ramps up a million times over again. So we're going to get more trailers, more interviews, more posters, more merchandise, more everything as we get 17 days closer and closer and closer to the show. Yeah. Yeah, 17 days, time flies for sure. I'll watch it because it looks fun, though. Nice. It does look like fun. I mean, it is just an action adventure. And they talk about it being a comparison to Goonies or E.T., that sort of Amblin 1980s kind of vibe. It has that, but it's still Star Wars. It still feels like Star Wars. You got pirates, you got Jawas, you got the actual feel of the underworld in Star Wars, that sort of dusty, dirty cantina vibe of Star Wars in this Skeleton Crew show. And that's why it's going to set itself apart from all of that. Yeah. It's not going to be a carbon copy, as they've clearly been made clear. Yeah. Explore the Force says, I hope they don't give too much away. All those fight scenes from The Acolyte, I loved them, but would have loved seeing them for the first time in the show. I get what you mean, especially with the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte. We saw the entire Indara fight, which is the opening scene. And it was cool, but we'd already seen it before. Those fights in, of course, episode 5 and episode 8 we hadn't seen, and they were incredible. But I agree with you. They gave too much, or they sometimes give too much away. With Skeleton Crew, they really are not. The 2 trailers we've seen don't give anything away about the plot of this show. We understand that these kids are going blasting off into the galaxy, but we don't know anything past that. There's that weird treasure at the end of the last trailer that we have no idea whose it is, why they're going after it, what's going on. We don't even know if Jude Law's character is a good guy or not. We don't know if Honda will show up, if Maz Kanata will show up. We don't know anything. Anything. Which is wild. Yeah. Kind of hope Maz shows up. Maz would be great. Maz Kanata. She is the queen of the pirates, so to speak. So it'd be cool. There will be a mammoth, sloth, and a saber-toothed tiger? No. That would be the Ice Age 6 you're looking for. Jude Law gives me Sid vibes? No. Don't say that. Jude Law's one of my favorite actors. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me! I got a feeling that Jude Law is not going to be the best guy. I think he's going to be that sort of anti-hero type character where he starts off as sort of can he be trusted, can he not be trusted type deal. Maybe he goes the way of being a bad guy. Maybe he goes the way of being a hero. We don't know. Will he save the kids at the end, or will he turn the kids in at the end? We have no idea. It would be really cool if this was a multi-season show and this first season ends with these kids realizing that their home world is a shit show and they're being held captive there and their families are being held captive there on their seemingly safe home world by, who knows, maybe the First Order, maybe the remnant of the Empire, maybe just those droids that control their planet. I don't know. But somebody's keeping them on their home world. Then the cliffhanger is that their seemingly safe home world is not, and they have to go save their families, and then Jude Law agrees to help them out. That'd be cool. Jude Law's character might be like a Luthen from Andor. Maybe like a pirate version of Luthen. He does have he looks like a pirate, smells like a pirate, tastes like a pirate. He's probably a pirate. Don't ask me how I know what he... Pause.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Okay, but he looks like a pirate, so we know the pirates are going to play a big role in this show, but he's fighting against the pirates in the trailers, so we don't really know what Jude Law's role really is, or what he's going to be when we first meet him. We're led to believe that he uses the Force, but in interviews, Jude Law's like, "Who says I wield the Force? You idiot!" No, I'm kidding. You're a great guy. Jude Law, respect you. Okay. But, yeah, we don't know. We have no idea. Could be a Jedi, could not be a Jedi. He's a Force user, some sort of Force user. But there's so many questions when it comes to the Skeleton Crew show, and with only 17 days left, it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any answers until the show premieres. Nathan says, Jude Law is Cal Kestis. We're going to see Hondo and prequel original trilogy Old Republic game references. And Jude is Cal. I'm calling it now. I've heard this Jude Law is Cal Kestis theory before. I'm not the biggest fan of it for a few reasons. One, they already have an incredible actor by the name of Cameron Monaghan who can play live-action Cal Kestis. So it would be kind of stupid if they were to bring in Jude Law, who's another great actor, to play Cal Kestis when they already have a great actor to do that. So I don't think he's Cal Kestis. Also, he doesn't look enough like Cal Kestis to pull that off. Yeah, doesn't. Darth Raccoonar, what's up? Alex, how we doing?
Hello there.
Yeah. Cad Bane is dead. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Yeah, Cad Bane would be great. So many fans think he's still alive. Cad Bane is my favorite bounty hunter in Star Wars. So to have him come to live action and die in his first live action appearance in the Book of Boba Fett would be a bummer. But you never know. Maybe he did die. You could say that his light was still beeping. You could say that Toto could come in and save his ass. I don't know. Do you guys think Cad Bane is dead? Give me a 1 into the chat if you think Cad Bane is dead. Give me a 2 if you're like, nah, he's definitely alive. There's no way they would have killed him off like that. What do we think, chat? He did have quite the long history with Boba Fett. Not a bad way to go out to Boba Fett. See, now that's a bunch of 2s. Now that is a bunch of 2s. I would love to see him again. I really hope he's alive. But it's not looking too good. Brandon, what's up? Says, speaking of Cameron Monaghan, do you think that he will still play him in live action even if EA kills the final Jedi game? EA is not killing the final Jedi game. That's for damn sure. I don't know. They're currently working on it right now. And there's no way they're going to give up billions upon billions, or millions, I should say, of dollars with that third game. And yes, he will still play live action Cal Kestis. Yeah. Your pal Joe says, bro, Cad Bane is dead. Unless he's turned into some Grievous type robot. Yeah, cut in half Cad Bane. Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to come back from that. I will say that. Yeah. Could Cal be one of Luke's students? Well, he would be older than Luke, but he could help out. He could be a helper for Luke's Jedi Temple, if that's what you're asking. But would he be one of his students? Probably not. Probably not. Oh, just because it's popping into my head right now, chat, I have to mention, we did hit 99,400 subscribers. So we are 600 away from 100,000. And of course, at 100,000, can I get some good cups full orders in the chat, please? Bumpa. At 100,000, this entire good cup that follows orders will be dropped on my head. Not dropped on my head, but dumped on my head. The liquid inside, that is. On an emergency live stream for 100K. We will count it down once we get close to 100K. I will go live and we will count down together. And at 100K, I'll dump this entire cup of water on my head. Okay? And then we'll do an awesome, cool giveaway. So we're 600 away. So the time is ticking. I'm hoping to get there before Skeleton Crew. Just stay alert over the next couple weeks for an emergency live stream to celebrate 100K. Because we're doing a huge giveaway and, of course, dumping the cup of water on my head and all that other fun stuff. We'll have some cool things to talk about and go through a trip down memory lane. Maybe we'll even have some call-ins or actual people, some great other content creators that have helped me out along the way coming on live as well. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Just stay ready. We are 600 subscribers away. So thank you guys for that. But look at all those good cups that follows orders. The good cup that follows orders became a thing so long ago now that I don't even remember how or why. Well, I kind of remember how and why, but it's a very long time ago. And now to see like 1 million good cups follow orders come into the chat, it's really funny to me. It's stuck. It definitely stuck. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing all the treasure inside that treasure room in Skeleton Crew. We could see all kinds of things, ancient Star Wars artifacts. It would be cool to see like some ancient Sith stuff or ancient Jedi stuff even, and maybe have a connection to like the Dawn of the Jedi or something along those lines. Yeah. That would be cool. There has to be some sort of ancient artifact that we can recognize in that room. At least it's not shown in the trailer because we've zoomed in and looked at that quite a bit. Cal Kestis has become one of my favorite characters for me. Can't wait to see him in live action. It is really cool. I mean, he's the perfect example of you can make a great character in any form of media. He's a video game character. You get to decide kind of where his story goes, and it's incredible. There's no place you can create a character that, if it's good, it will be a good character. Like, if you made a comic character that's incredible, it's going to be an incredible character. If it's a live action, animated, doesn't matter. If it's a good character, it's a good character. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that's what Cal Kestis is. Yeah. Luke Skywalker, Cal Kestis, Ezra Bridger as Jedi Masters training younglings. Also, maybe Ahsoka if she returns. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I don't know if Cal Kestis and Ezra will be a part of Luke's temple. I feel like they have to be aware of each other because they're all going to be alive at the same time. Luke is aware of Ahsoka, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's aware of Ezra. Now, the big question becomes, will Jason Syndulla go train for Luke Skywalker at his Jedi Temple? That's a good one. Yeah. Cup of water, why not blue milk? Well, I did give you guys the option. If we get $100 of super chats, $100, which is a lot, in super chats during that emergency live stream, then I will dump a blue milk cup on my head, not water. So we'll see about that. But yeah. By the way, super chats, memberships keep the lights on over here. So I appreciate all of the support. I love seeing all these members in the chat. If you're not yet a member, think about joining. It's only 99 cents at the lowest tier. You get instant access to the giveaways that we do at the end of every month, instant access to a members only portion of the Discord, and some other cool stuff. So go check that out. In super chats, I will do any Star Wars impression of your choosing for any amount of super chat. So yeah, there you go. Appreciate it. Brett says, what happens in the New Republic era, or what happened to the New Republic era characters before the sequel trilogy? Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra, Mando, Grogu, etc. That's the thing. We don't know. It's the same question as like what happened with Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra, Mando, Grogu in the original trilogy time period. We don't know. Those are stories that need to be explained. And hopefully the Rey new trilogy will explain it too. Because yeah, Grogu's hopefully the future of Star Wars. he can live for the next 800 plus years. But hopefully we figure out where he was during that sequel trilogy. Yeah. I strongly feel that Ezra needs to train Jason. I agree with that. But he could also train Jason and then drop him off at Luke's temple, or Ezra could be working with Luke at a Jedi temple. Yeah. There needs to be a sixth element before Mike watches the fifth. Yeah, there you go. If they make the sixth element, I'll watch the fifth element. Deal, chat? Mike should have watched the fifth element instead of the Mike Tyson fight. Damn it, you're right. If only I knew, JC. If only I knew, I would have. Yeah. Yeah. I have a wild theory. What if these kids from Skeleton Crew don't come home at the end of the show and they go to Luke's Jedi Temple instead? There have been some theories that maybe one, if not all, of these kids are Force sensitive. That would be pretty wild. I don't think they will all be Force sensitive. However, I do think it's likely that one of them will at least. Maybe Wim, maybe Neil, which would be great, but just the memes. But I think Wim would be the best likely scenario there. Yeah. When is your birthday, Mike? My birthday is in May. Yeah. We had a birthday stream last year. Yeah. May 30th. Indeed. Surprise, Neil is actually Rey. Oh my God. That'd be crazy. No, but I agree with you. I think one of these kids, or at least one of these kids, could become Force sensitive or be Force sensitive and go off to train at Luke's temple. It would be so cool. Yeah. Yeah. Darth Raccoonar, oh my God, with a very generous $2 holla. I appreciate that. Says, can I get an impression of I'm not the commander, he's the commander? I do not even know what that's referring to. Who says that? I'm not the commander, he's the commander? Is that from the Clone Wars? I'm gonna need more information than that. Who says that? Is Yoda really Grogu's dad? He decided not to take care of him because he didn't want to pay for child support? Oh my God. I don't know. I really don't know if he is Grogu's dad. It seems the only logical explanation. But he does go off to Dagobah while Grogu's still alive. And as far as we're aware, he doesn't go looking for Grogu. So he would not be winning a Best Dad of the Year award. Yoda, that is. Yeah. It's a B1 battle droid from the Clone Wars. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Clone Wars. I'm not the commander. Let's see if it comes up. Huh. It comes up.
Don't shoot. I'm not the commander. He's the commander.
Okay.
Don't shoot.
All right. I found it. I found it.
I'm not the commander. He's the commander.
I'm not the how the hell do they make that noise? I'm not the commander. I'm not the commander. I'm not the commander. What the poop?
Shoot, I'm not the commander. He's the commander.
I'm not the commander. This is hard. Have we really never done B1 battle droids yet in these live streams? What the hell?
Shoot, I'm not the commander.
I'm not the commander. I'm not the commander. I'm not the commander. I'm not the commander. He's the This is tough, chat. Kid Fisto, what is up?
Shoot, I'm not the commander. He's the commander.
I'm not the commander. No, why is it so... This is tough.
Shoot, I'm not the commander.
Should I just do the Miley Cyrus impression? You know, you like literally... Hang on.
Shoot, I'm not the commander.
I'm not the commander. I'm not the commander. Why does it sound like... Try some helium? Oh, let me get on that. Let me just go get my... Oh, yeah, my nice supply of helium over here. Oh, sorry, let me go check it out. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it.
Shoot, I'm not the commander. He's the commander.
I'm not the command. I'm not the commander. He's the commander. I don't know. It's trash. I got to work on my B1, I guess. I got to work on the B1 battle droid impression. I suppose. Okay. But I appreciate it, Darth Fat Kunar. I really, really do. Memberships, super chats keep the lights on over here, so hopefully we don't turn those lights off anytime soon. Chat. All right. Where were we? Should we skip our way over to Andor Season 2 news? Should we waltz on over to the Andor Season 2? So, Skeleton Crew's in 17 days. The hype has continued to grow. We're going to be getting a lot more trailers and posters and all this stuff over the next 2 weeks. But let's talk about Andor Season 2. On Thursday's stream, we talked about how there was an exclusive article from Empire Magazine with interviews with the cast and Tony Gilroy and some evidence to suggest that Tarkin could be in Season 2. Now, we talked about possible appearances of Vader, Palpatine, Leia, Bail Organa, the Ghost Crew, Hera, Chopper, etc. But Tarkin is the biggest one. Now, give me one to the chat if you saw my video yesterday about Tarkin being in Andor Season 2. If you haven't yet, go watch that immediately. It's pretty dang cool, if I do say so myself. I condense all of this information down into that sort of 9-minute video. So go check that video out. However, there's a lot going on with this exclusive article, confirming Krennic being in Andor Season 2, talking about Tarkin and stuff like that. So let's read this article first. Let's read this article first. Okay. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, right there. Okay, cool. Let's read this. Andor Season 2 Empire Magazine cover reveals Ben Mendelsohn return in Star Wars. So this was the sort of big deal. We knew that Krennic was coming back. We knew he was going to be in Season 2, but this is confirmed now by Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm is already building up some momentum for Andor Season 2, which, by the way, guys, doesn't come out until April 22nd, 2025. Not for 5 more months are we going to be seeing Andor Season 2. 5 months. And here we are talking about it 17 days before Skeleton Crew. I don't know. Tony, what's up? Now, the reason for us talking about it is because Disney dropped the trailer for the upcoming shows, like they're talking about here. Disney Plus dropped a look forward on Tuesday featuring some footage of the new season. And today, Empire Magazine revealed that the Tony Gilroy series will be the main topic of the new issue that will release on November 21st. Meaning, for the next at least 5-6 days, the main topic of conversation in the Star Wars universe will be Andor Season 2. But Skeleton Crew comes out in 17 days. So hyping up both these shows at the same time may not be the best idea. Now, you could say a rising tide raises all ships. That's true. And when people are talking about Star Wars, they're looking for Star Wars to watch, and then they'll go, oh my God, Skeleton Crew starts in a couple days. Let's watch that, because we're talking Andor Season 2. And while we wait, let's watch Skeleton Crew. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. But I think the biggest thing for them here is marketing Andor Season 2 correctly, because Andor Season 1 was not marketed correctly. But let's keep reading. On the cover of the issue, we have Diego Luna's Cassian front and center. We also have Genevieve O'Reilly's Mon Mothma, and the much anticipated return of Ben Mendelsohn as Orson Krennic, the main villain of Rogue One, who was confirmed back in August to be appearing in the new series. The image of Cassian from the new season also came out, seen below, as Diego Luna talks about the publication, talks to the publication about Cassian's journey in the new season. We read a lot of this already on Thursday's stream, but let's recap for a second. He's a man fully committed to the rebellion. It's someone who has to ascend. There's a huge mountain for him to climb in order to become the guy that we meet in Rogue One, because he is a leader of the rebellion by the time of Rogue One, and he just joined the rebellion at the end of season 1 of Andor. That's the look that we got at Cassian, featured in the thumbnail for today's video. Let's keep reading. So we talked about K2SO. We talked about that already. Let's get to the Tarkin stuff. This is the Yavin 4 stuff. Yeah, so Yavin 4 has been confirmed to be in it too. Yavin 4 is being the rebel base in A New Hope. But what is the Tarkin stuff isn't even in this? Oh, wait, what? Oh, here we go. Here we go. That's the cover featuring Cassian, Krennic, Mon Mothma. What? They didn't talk about the Krennic stuff? Okay, I guess we gotta go find the Krennic stuff then. Hang on. Hang on, chat. Tarkin, where are you? What the hell? What? Chat, they're hiding this from me. It's like they deleted it off the face of the earth. I know it's there. Search your feelings. You know it to be true. What the hell? Did they delete all evidence of this? Oh, no, found it. Okay. Here we go. Found it. Ben Mendelsohn, when asked on whether Moff Gideon will be in Andor season, I'm sorry, Grand Moff Tarkin, not Moff Gideon. My brain is deteriorating. In Andor season 2, he said this. You know, I can't answer that. And I delight in not being able to answer your question. It's a beautiful thing. Now, we talked about this on Thursday's stream, but we're talking about it again today. This, to me, feels like a confirmation that Tarkin will be in this show. Now, tell me in the chat, do you think Grand Moff Tarkin will be in Andor Season 2? Now, the big argument for him not being in it is the lawsuit being held against Disney right now for the use of Peter Cushing's image in Rogue One. But that almost seems like a nothing burger. It seems like really nothing's going on there. Especially because Lucasfilm asked for his family estate's permission, and that seems to be the only permission that they should need. But tell me in the chat, do you think Tarkin will be in Andor Season 2? What do we think? And by the way, I know we were going to do call-ins last stream. We didn't end up doing them because I forgot about them. We're going to be doing call-ins today. It's a Saturday stream. I feel like we should just chill, hang out, and do some call-ins. So we will be doing call-ins. Actually, I might as well open up the stage right now. Let's open up the stage on the Discord. If you are not yet in the Discord, there's a link in the description below to a Discord called The People Who Love Star Wars. Oh my God, that's horrifying. We're going to look at that in a second. So go join that Discord and check it out. Okay. Wait a second. What is this? What is this? All right, let me open up this stage for the call-ins real quick. But before we get to those call-ins, we got to talk about this. Anthony Daniels tweeted this. Now, can we get confirmation on that? Hang on. Hang on. Anthony Daniels. Huh. 14 minutes ago, Anthony Daniels tweeted this. C-3PO has always been and still remains the one for me. The saga isn't over yet. The work of my life. What? Lee, what is up? What do we make of this, chat? Officer Murdoch, how we doing? I got another super chat. Oh, hang on. Did we get a super chat? Oh, Darth Raccoon with another $2 holla. God damn. Says, can you say we stand here on my achievement? Oh, is that a Krennic line? Hang on. Let me find that. Krennic, we stand here.
We stand here amidst my achievement, not yours.
I can't wait for Ben Mendelsohn is one of my favorite bad guy actors. He's a bad guy in this. He's a bad guy. He's actually starts as a bad guy in Marvel, but he ends up being a good guy. But he's a bad guy in the movie Ready Player One. He's a bad guy in something else too. He's just he's so good at it. But let's watch this again.
We stand here amidst my achievement, not yours. We stand here.
We stand here. We stand here. We stand here amidst my achievement, not yours. All right, that was take one. That was take one, chat. That was just take one.
We stand here amidst my achievement, not yours!
That's pretty good. Let's just take a round of applause for Rogue One. It's an incredible freaking movie, okay? Anybody who says Disney ruined Star Wars, just put Rogue One in their stupid faces, okay?
We stand here amidst my achievement, not yours!
We stand here amidst my achievement, not yours! That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. I appreciate it, Darth Raccoon Art. I really, really do. Super chats, memberships, keep the lights on over here. If I haven't said that already a million times. Okay. Mike. What? Mike Yenny is in the audience? I know that. What's up, Mike? What are you talking about? What you talking about? Okay. I appreciate it. Okay. Oh, he's in the audio. Oh, I get you. Okay. If you want to do call-ins, I understand now. I was very confused. If you want to do call-ins, you got to raise your hand in that call-in portion. What do we make of this, though, chat? What do we make of this? The saga isn't over yet? What is he talking about? What do we think he means by that? Could C-3PO be showing up in the Mandalorian Grogu movie, and he's confirming that? Or does he know something that we don't? Chat? Interesting. Anthony Daniels, of all people, breaks the news today that nobody would have thought. So if you are in the Discord call-ins portion, you have to raise your hand so I can call on you first. I don't know how it looks on your end, but you have to raise your hand so I can call on you. That's for the call-in thing. But we'll do probably like a few call-ins today if you guys want to, of course. But what do we think, chat? What the hell is Anthony Daniels talking about here? C-3PO in the Rey movie? He, in theory, would be in the Rey movie, no? Like he should be in the Rey movie? Maybe. I am C-3PO Skywalker. There you go. Does it mean C-3PO is in the Ice Age 6? Now we're on to something. He's getting his own saga? That'd be funny. I don't know. Very cryptic message from Anthony Daniels on this fine Saturday afternoon. Your pal Joe says, I want to do call-in, but so bad, but I'm at work right now. No worries. No worries. Yeah, that's true. He is in every movie. C-3PO is in every movie of the saga. That means he must be in the Mandalorian Grogu movie, no? Well, C-3PO was in Mando in Ahsoka. Sorry, he was in Ahsoka. When Hera goes before the people on Coruscant, before Mon Mothma and the other senators. Yeah. I thought the Mandalorian Grogu was done filming. It is, or it's almost done filming, so that he would know then if he is in it. Do you think this is some sort of tactic to get the hype up for the Mandalorian Grogu movie? Like maybe Anthony Daniels literally just got finished filming for that movie and he's like, let's go, people, I'm back. That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. You don't have to be nervous to do call-ins. I'm right here. I'm literally here with you. And I won't bite. I might bite, but it will be hard to do through a screen. Yeah. I don't know. This is pretty interesting. I think he might be telling us soon. New Skeleton Crew trailer? Yes, there is. We can watch it again if you want. It's only about 24 seconds. we stand here amidst my achievement, not yours. Yeah. If he's in the Mandalorian Grogu movie, then Luke has to be in it. I don't know if he has to be in it, but yeah, I mean, C-3PO is not with Luke. That's for sure. Yeah, R2 is. But R2 and C-3PO are in all the movies. So it would make sense that they would all be in this movie as well. Oh, Lee with a very generous $5 holla. God damn. Says, missed being here, Mike. Well, we missed having you, Lee. Sorry I was AWOL. You better be. We were worried about you. Hodja, we'll get you in here in just 1 second. Let me respond to Lee's super chat. Can you please do your best C-3PO from the original trilogy? All right, Lee, I will put that on the back burner for a second. I'm going to get Hodja in here for our first call-in of the day, and then I will do your C-3PO impression in just a second, okay? Find me your favorite line from the original trilogy while we do this, and I'll do that for you. All right, cool. Hodja, let's get you on in here. Let's get you on in here.
Hello there.
Oh, hello there. All right, let's talk. I don't know. We got so much to talk about. Let's talk.
Can I suggest something to talk about before we continue? Because this is just a massive coincidence.
No, this isn't how these call-ins work, Hodja. I make the rules.
Oh my God, I have been told, naughty boy.
Yes, what do you want to talk about?
Basically, I've been practicing an impersonation, and it kind of links into what Lee has just requested.
Yes, let's hear it.
Mike, the chances of me successfully impersonating C-3PO are approximately 3,720 to 1. Ta-da.
Oh my God! Yes! Yes!
This is where the fun begins.
That was incredible. That might be my favorite moment in live streaming history. That was so good. I could never have done that better myself. Lee, that one was for you. Hodja for the win. Oh my God. That was awesome.
It's the power of Scotland, you see. Me and Lee are from Scotland, so may the force be with you. That's
yes. Great. That was so good. Okay, now I'm completely off topic, but let's go back to the first part we talked about in the live stream. The Rey movie has been, or at least whatever that December 2026 movie has been delayed, or at least obliterated off the face of the planet, as that movie will no longer, or no Star Wars movie will be coming out on that date. Do you see this as bad news or good news? And why, I guess?
There's two options. It's either this is the Rey or this isn't the Rey. You know, it's kind of like, which way is it going to end up in the long term? But I'm kind of hoping, I really, really want a cohesive trilogy. And if it's going to be with Rey, she's got the talent, she's got the skill. And I also think she's got the acting ability to be a decent Obi-Wan-esque figure, as opposed to being the whole of the narrative. You know, I think she could be part of some epic moments. I
agree with that. If you have a cohesive story with Simon Kinberg or whoever, and it's a trilogy, and Rey's sort of that lead, or at least a lead in the trilogy, I think you can't really go wrong as long as it's well written. Daisy Ridley's a great actress, whatever, and you're gonna have just hopefully the best writing team you can behind her and make an incredible story, moving us past all this Skywalker saga stuff, which I agree with. Yep. Okay, now let's talk Skeleton Crew. It comes out in 17 days. There's so little that we know about this show, like so unbelievably little. Of these sort of characters that could appear, who would you want to show up?
In terms of, like potential cameos, you mean, and all that? Yeah, my number one has to be Maz Kanata. I just love that woman so much.
Maz is great because honestly, we get so little of her. She's introduced in The Force Awakens. You get that sort of a couple scenes with her. Then she appears in The Rise of Skywalker with a couple scenes with her. You get the hologram of her in The Last Jedi. So she's technically in every sequel movie, but she's not that big of a role. And she's 1,000 years old, so she's an important character.
But what I like, but what I liked about it when she was in The Last Jedi, she was in the middle of a battle and she was kicking ass.
Yes.
You know, and I really want to see You know, she got a gun. She was jumping about. You know, it's kind of like, you know, I want to see her in action. I really, really do.
I
Really
agree.
do.
And she's been given the title Queen of the Pirates, so she's got to be connected to the pirates somehow.
Exactly. Let's queen it
Yeah.
up one time.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
All right, last topic. Andor season 2. It doesn't come out for 5 months now, but a lot of news is coming out around it. Andor season 2. First of all, you've seen Andor season 1, correct?
I have indeed.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
a few times now.
Good. Okay. I mean, some people haven't seen it. I understand the marketing for it wasn't great. It wasn't like the most hyped up show, so a lot of people haven't even seen it or had the urge to go see it. But Andor season 2, we know Krennic's going to be in it. We know K2SO is going to be in it, but there's a lot of other possible appearances with the appearance of Yavin 4 in the trailer, or at least in the so-called posters, trailers, whatever. We know it's going to be in it. There's possibilities of seeing like Bail Organa, Leia Organa, Hera Syndulla, Chopper the Ghost, stuff like that. Krennic being teased, that whole lawsuit thing. Like, who do you think is probably the most likely, or who do you want, I guess, to see the most in Andor season 2?
If it's written the way that Andor season 1 was, which I'm pretty sure it will be, I don't see any reason why we can't have a rich tapestry of all these cameos, but not in an overkill way. Because it's stretched over these 4 years. So I think we've got potential for a lot of them, just to kind of, in an episode of Rebels, or this links into what kind of went on, in that area and stuff like that. So yeah, I think just do it all. Go out with a bang.
I agree. I agree. And to your point, the first season of Andor is written so well. Like, even when if you have an appearance like a Tarkin or whoever, it's not going to overpower the show. So yeah.
There's one scene I would specifically like to see, which would set up Princess Leia's line in A New Hope perfectly, because in the New Hope, when she says, "I recognise your foul stench when I was brought on board," when she dropped that line to him, I'd like to see them two maybe meeting with Mon Mothma, so that actually she's been in the same room as him, so it kind of follows up from that. I've been in the same room. You smell like old farts.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good, because all these people, although they are so like against each other, they do go to the Senate building together, or at least they're around Coruscant together at all times. Like, Mon Mothma is standing toe to toe with the people she's trying to take down. So it would be pretty cool to see Leia in there too.
Yeah, and Admiral Akbar, please, that boy needs way more screen time too.
That would be awesome. I like that. All right, Haja, I appreciate you. Incredible, spot on C-3PO impression.
You too, pal. You too.
I'll get you on out of here.
Yeah,
no, incredible, absolutely incredible. 10 out of 10.
Bye-bye.
All right, see ya, Haja. I appreciate you,
pal. Take care. Bye.
Bye. All right. If anybody else wants to do call-in, I don't know how you're going to top that, but we'll see. No, I'm kidding. If you guys want to do call-ins, it's in the Discord. Haja, incredible. Absolutely incredible. But C-3PO was spot on. If I were to ever even try, I would... no, I don't want to. Lee says, C-3PO line, Mike, did you hear they shut down the main reactor? It would be destroyed for sure. Lee, I can't do it anymore. I'm sorry. I just can't. All right, your pal Joe, we're going to get you on in here.
Hello?
Joe, what is up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Can you hear me okay? I'm outside.
I can hear you just fine.
Perfect.
Are you skipping work right now to call in on the show?
Well, skipping and multitasking, it's kind of a gray line.
Love it. Okay. First of all, I see by your profile picture, you got the Mando Mandalorian helmet?
I did. I got it in the mail. I was super excited.
Nice.
The quality was incredible. I couldn't believe it. The way that they did everything by hand was super cool as well. I was expecting more of like a Black Series, like a manufactured polish, but I really like the hand detail, and the cosplay aspect of it is wicked cool. So no, I really, really like it.
Yeah, the guys over at Art Sabers do some incredible stuff. We're working some stuff out in the back, but it's pretty cool. All right, let's talk some Star Wars. So,
sweet.
Skeleton Crew comes out in 17 days, and there's very little that we really know about the show. But My question to you is actually a strange one that I haven't asked anybody yet. Do you think this is a first season? Do you think there will be a second season to the show? And do you think it will tie into like Mando and will these characters like Jude Law and the kids show up in the Mandalorian Grogu? Show up in other places?
It's hard to say. I honestly think with the way that Disney has done Star Wars, especially in recent future with the Acolyte and everything, I'm gonna say that they're probably gonna be hesitant to set it up for multiple seasons off the bat. I think they're gonna want to see how successful the show is with the fans and see what the numbers are before they commit to a second season. But you never know. Like they could. It really depends on what we get out of the season. Like they probably would have had to make that decision already before they wrote it and did it. But I don't think we'll know until they're already certain about what they're gonna do.
Yeah, true. I mean, the show is going to end one way or another. It's going to be open for more story, or it's going to be pretty cohesive or pretty actual cohesive ending.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but the thing that sticks out in my head is when they announced Dave Filoni's movie, they said it was going to be a combination of all these Mando, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and Skeleton Crew. So that leads me to believe that there's going to be some sort of connection. They didn't just make this one-off Skeleton Crew show for no reason.
Yeah, I think it's more than likely, especially because it does fall into that Mandoverse timeline, that they would include those characters in the future and have a plan for it. So I'm going to say probably, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's talk Andor season 2, okay? It's going to span over 4 years, which allows us to see a lot of just cool points in the timeline. Obviously, in the trailer, we see the Gorman massacre being a thing, which is led by Tarkin. So Tarkin does seem very likely to appear in this show. To your professional eye, do you think Tarkin will be in this Andor season 2?
Oh yeah. I mean, I had my doubts with the whole like lawsuit thing that kind of came out, but as you've explained they like Rogue One had permission from the family to get to use his likeness in their movie. So it depends on how Disney. I think it's most likely yes, we're going to see him. But it all depends on how Disney wants to play it. If they want to play it safe or not.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see. It seems like they're going all out for Andor season 2 in terms of everything. So I don't see them holding back on anything like a Tarkin or something like that. Now, the big question is, will the big names come in? Obviously, Tarkin's a kind of big name, but he only really has one appearance in A New Hope. I'm talking Vader, Palpatine, Leia. Think any of those big names will actually show up in Andor season 2?
Oh, I think we're getting lots of big names. I think we're getting lots of side names from Rogue One to fill in the blanks. Obviously, like K2 is going to be there, Krennic.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to get like, because the jumps are so big in Andor season 2, I think we're going to get like flashbacks and little peeks to see at like what Leia's doing at that time, what Vader. I think we're going to get everything.
Yeah, I feel like because it's focusing only on specific dates throughout 4 years, it's going to be the most important and jam-packed, action-packed events of those 4 years. So seeing characters like a Vader are highly likely because it's these important events throughout the years. Plus, you kind of have to allude to all the stuff that's coming in Rogue One, Vader being a big part of that, the Death Star being a big part of that. So maybe even getting to see some Galen Erso or something like that would be pretty damn cool.
I'm hoping we get to see Galen. Like, I think it's super likely, and I'll be super pumped. But I'm hoping we get more like side character action, like the Wills. I'm hoping we get to see a little sneak. Like, I know they're not a big part of the story, but just like a sneak peek to see what they're up to would be cool.
That would be pretty wild. All right, last question. I'm going to leave you off on a pretty crazy one because I saw you being very adamant about the name The Mandalorian Grogu not being a good one. What would you rename the movie?
Ooh, see, I really thought that the fan base stuck with the saying "This is the way" a lot. Like, I really think for us like diehards, that is something we can all like relate to, and we know where it comes from.
True.
I don't hate the name. Like, I always second guess myself when I bring something up, and then you kind of explain it more thoroughly, and I go, "Okay, yeah, I understand." So I like the name because it does kind of reach all, like, it reaches the general audiences, but my preference would be something on a play of "This is the way," like, I don't know, Grogu's way or something like along that line. Something to like say like Grogu's following the path of the Mandalorian, I think would really spark my interest.
That's pretty cool. I like it. I like it. All right, Joe. I appreciate you. Get back to work, and we'll get you on out of here.
All right, thanks, man. See you later.
See ya. This is the way.
Bye.
Okay. If anybody else wants to call in, we'll maybe do one more, maybe two, if we have two people who want to do it. But appreciate it, Joe. Appreciate it. I Haja. Call-ins are very, very fun. Okay, Lee, you still want the impression, even though I Haja gave you the incredible one? All right, I'll try. C3PO. Let me channel my inner C3PO real quick. Actually, wait. Where's my C3PO head? What? What is going on? Chat, I had a C3PO head that used to sit where the Boba Fett helmet is, and I don't know where he went. He's gone. Somebody stole him. Someone stole C3PO. What is going on? Where did he go? This is weird. I can't find him. I have no idea where he went. Okay. Moving on. Actually, Lee, let me all right, let's do it. Lee wants the line, and the line is, did you hear that? They shut down the main reactor. Okay. C3PO. C, not 2PO, 3PO. Did you hear that? Oh, is this the first line?
Did you hear that? They shut down.
It's the first line of the freaking movie. So this is the first line in any Star Wars movie ever. This is the first line of Star Wars, and it's 3PO's first line.
Did you hear that? They shut down the main reactor. Will be
That is very quiet. Hang on, Jet. Hang on.
destroyed for. Did you hear that? They shut down the main reactor. Will be destroyed for sure. This is madness. Did you hear that?
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
They shut down the main reactor.
They shut down the main reactor.
Will be destroyed for sure.
Will be destroyed for sure. I don't know. My C3PO is horrible. We should have just left it on where I Haja did. Damn. But I tried. I tried, Lee, just for you. I appreciate the super chat. I really, really do. I really, really do. Okay. Where was I? Mike, we need a wait, what? Mike, we need a voice channel in the Discord. God damn it. What do you mean a voice channel? Like a call-in channel? That's what we have. What's what we're doing right now? What are you talking about? Voice channel? What? Okay. Mark says, I see Tarkin as the main villain of A New Hope. Kinda. I mean, yes, to an extent. He is the main villain because he's in charge of the Death Star. But if you look at it from if you're looking at A New Hope, just A New Hope, yes, he kind of is the main villain. But when you look at it from afar, obviously he's working for Palpatine. And he stole the Death Star from Krennic. He literally killed Krennic and then took his ideas for his own. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. You mean a permanent one? I think that would get a little chaotic, if I do say so myself. Having people just talking all the time on there could get really bad really quick. Wildcats, what's up? Long time no see. Been busy. No worries. Appreciate you coming back. Appreciate you coming back. Yeah. If The Mandalorian and Grogu is supposed to be the end, I think it should be called The Mandalorian, the final chapter. I don't think it's the end. I think it's actually just the beginning of a new trilogy. Yeah. But it's not a bad name. Not a bad name. Yeah, I apologize, I Haja, for losing my shit like that, but that was really funny. I saw an opening and I took it. Yeah. There you go. Like a voice chat room where we could talk to each other like a chat room? It would be difficult to moderate. It would be very difficult to moderate. That's the problem. Yeah, if the Discord isn't wild already. Exactly, Tony. If anybody just tried to call in, I missed it because I forgot about it again, so I apologize. Yeah. There you go. Go vote on that in the Discord if you guys want the voice channel. We'll leave it up to democracy. Yeah. All right, this is so strange to me. Why did he say this? Anybody chat? C-3PO has always been and still remains the one for me. The saga isn't over yet. The work of my life. I really think this is him referring to him being in the Mandalorian Grogu movie. The fact that R2 and C-3PO have been in every Star Wars movie, I don't think that's going to change with this Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Here's the thing. At some point, it does have to change, probably with the Dawn of the Jedi, because there's no way that they can be in it. But the Mandalorian and Grogu movie has the opportunity to have both these characters in it. But these two characters are very split up at this time. C-3PO being on Coruscant with Leia, and R2 being with Luke on Oasis, or Osis? Osis, sorry, not Oasis. Osis. Yeah. Maybe he means the Skywalker saga isn't over yet? Maybe. Maybe. Was C-3PO in Solo? Was C-3PO in Solo? It's a good question, actually. C-3PO in... Oops. In Solo. Was he not? Huh. They weren't in Solo. I guess they haven't been in every Star Wars movie. They're in Rogue One for sure. I thought they were in Solo. I don't know where, but I thought they were. Huh. The more you know. Oh, C-3PO is not in Solo, but Anthony Daniels does play a part in the movie. I see. There's no C-3PO cameo in the movie, but what there is what Mark Hamill is referring to, is an Anthony Daniels cameo in the movie. Uh-huh. The more you know. You guys want to see something crazy? Grogu concept art versus final product. Imagine if Grogu looked like this on the left. Take a second. And imagine if he actually looked like the left picture. If he looked like a baby version of what Yoda looks like in the original trilogy. There would not be a Mandalorian and Grogu movie, I'd tell you that much. This is horrifying. This is the stuff of nightmares. It's quite the glow up for Grogu, for sure. He looks like a troll in this. I mean, he kind of looks like a troll here, but he looks like an ugly troll here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Jordan Rennie with a very generous $5 holla. God damn, you guys are feeling generous today. I appreciate it. So can you react to the Noah versus Tarak fight from Battle of Endor, please? Tariq, you mean? Wait, what? Let's see what you're talking about. Noah versus Tarak. Battle of Endor. Say what now?
Get her out of here, Wicked.
Hurry, Cinto.
So I think Noah is this guy right here. And Tarak is this guy over here. By the way, a little context. This is from the Ewok movie from 1985 called The Battle of Endor. Or Battle for Endor, sorry. All right, let's pause for a second. Does this not remind anybody else of the Lord of the Rings? This looks like an orc. Okay, there's a reason that these movies are not talked about. They exist. They exist. That's for sure. They're on Disney Plus right now. You can go watch it if you want. But nobody talks about them. Imagine if Disney made this. Let's take a second. Take a sec. Imagine if Disney made this movie. Imagine if Disney made this movie. You know how much shit they would get? Hello, Soraya. What is up, Soraya? How we doing?
Hello there.
Okay, so imagine if Disney made this movie. Imagine the amount of crap they would get. George Lucas makes this movie, and nothing happens. By the way, this is the teak. I don't know why it's so close to the Tarak, but this is the teak. He will be in Skeleton Crew. That is confirmed. He will be in Skeleton Crew. Sam says hello there. Hello, Sam. This is the teak. He will be in Skeleton Crew. No, not the teak. Oh, he hurt his hand. Honestly, though, chat, he kind of looks like an early concept art version of Hondo Unaka. He looks like a early version of the Weequay. What is going on? What? This is crazy. Okay, so Jordan, I must say that might be the greatest $5 ever spent. Oh my God. That's crazy. That's so wild. Well, there you have it. Noah versus the Tarak or whatever the hell it was. That's a family show. I don't know. Doesn't look like it. Definitely doesn't look like it. Yeah. Okay. That was crazy. All right. Hang on. Let me end this Collins portion. The channel thing. There you go. If you are not yet in the Discord, there's a link in the description below to a Discord called The People Who Love Star Wars. Go join it immediately. Okay. Let me huge shout outs to Jordan for the very generous $5 highlight. Lee, Darth Raccoonar, huge shout out to your pal Joe and Haja for the call-ins. Let's end this poll, which by the way, 86% of you guys are excited for Skeleton Crew, which is pretty dang cool. 17 days until Skeleton Crew, 5 months-ish until Andor Season 2. And the Star Wars movie, untitled Star Wars movie that was set to release on December 18th, 2026, has been canceled, has been deleted, has been taken off of all of it. There you go. Okay. And yes, we're on watch for 100K over the next couple weeks, as we are about 600 subscribers away. So watch out for that. Watch out for that emergency live stream where we'll be dumping this entire cup of water on my head. Smash a like on this video if you have not yet. Hit that subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video in my pretty face or show up in the recommended feed of yours. Yeah. There you go. petition to have Mike watch the full movie. Well, I wouldn't be able to do it live because that would be copyright infringement stuff, so we wouldn't be able to do that. So we'd have to do like a watch party or something, but yeah. Yeah. All right. Until then, may the force be with you. Always. Oh, yeah. What a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate you all so much more than you will ever know. That Star Wars movie may be gone, but that might just be good news, as now that trilogy can get the time and effort it deserves in creating it, at least. Skeleton Cruise in 17 days, Andor Season 2 is in a couple months, or 5 months, and Star Wars Celebrations in April, too. A lot to look forward to. It is certainly the best time ever to be a Star Wars fan. But until then, I hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives, and good night, everybody.